Sorry about that, everybody. Had to get the page running again in order to make sure everything was running fine. It's time for more Sakamoto Days. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu92 here. Good to see you again, Holster. Welcome back, everybody, to more Sakamoto Days. In the last chapter, we had Osaragi, Shishiba attacking the other members of the Order. And they were contending with like Gozu and Torres, and Tanabata is nowhere to be seen at this time because Amane came in with a helicopter with Toramaru in order for Aoi, Sakamoto, and Hana to get away with Shin. But Tanabata was aiming at them with his special gun guitar, and Shin decides, you know what? Now it's my time to step up. And he proceeds to jump down in order to take on Tanabata, while Aoi, Hana, Sakamoto, Amane, and Toramaru fly away towards the JCC, with the fact that Kipe is still going up against Natsuki and Mafuyu. Everyone is fighting someone. Not to mention, apparently, Nagumo is not the guy inside of the fire truck because he's still in the city fighting Oki. And, they have been messing up the entire city with just their fighting. So let's see what happens in chapter 240. Can y'all believe it? We are 240 chapters into Sakamoto Days. Ain't that something? But we have Shin going,
let's celebrate. It's the 5th anniversary of Sakamoto Days, so we're doing a special campaign.
And then Lou, and this is all color. This is a special panel in front first.
What are we doing? Oh, Lou, it's awesome this year! For the 5th anniversary, we're doing 5 projects, and each of them are super deluxe.
Check out the insane 5th anniversary projects on the following page. Info on anniversary projects are in the Japanese print release of Weekly Shonen Jump. So we ignore that and move on to Sakamoto Days, Days 240, Pride. And it's a big, beautiful color spread that shows Sakamoto in his fat form, Hana and Aoi next to him, Heisuke flying on the back of a giant Pisuke, Shin jumping in the background. We get Nagumo, who's off to the side, and we get Shishiba and Osaragi because they're all inside of the Sakamoto store. Shishiba and Osaragi, Shishiba's holding up a 50% off little flag because they're all minis compared to Sakamoto here. He's like giant size and everyone is like store size. And Osaragi is eating a giant chip from chip bag. And that's Days 240 Pride. The color page that's here. It's very nice. Man, to think that someone comes up with these, draws it, and fills it in to make this art look so good. But yeah, Days 240 Pride. And we have Shin versus Tanabata. We have Gozu versus Shishiba. We have Boiled and Wu-Tang versus the other JAA agents. And then we have one of them aiming a bazooka because many of these JAA agents came with bazookas in order to shoot down the helicopter. And they're aiming up at one going, Sakamoto's up there, right? We'll blast them away and collect a bounty. And Shin is looking back going,
oh no!
And then it gets fired on. The helicopter itself gets fired on and it hits the rotor as it looks like the helicopter is about to fall out of the sky with Shin screaming, Owie! And then Boyle is like, Sakamoto. Shishiba's looking, and then Amane's going, they got the main rotor. Crap, there goes the steering. And then Aoi's just holding on to Hana, just going,
sweetie.
And then we finally get back to Sakamoto and the inside of his mind when he's talking to Rion. Finally, it's about time. Because this is where progress is about to be made. But Sakamoto, his eyes are wide, and he goes, Aoi. That's right. I need to get back. But... And he's sitting right next to Rion, and he hasn't, looked directly at her until now, and he glances over at her. Akao. Can I beat Uzuki and his gang? And then Rion just looks at him and goes,
How should I know? You're too stupid to be wasting your time worrying about stuff.
Shut up. You're really cheeky for a dead person. I'm asking a serious question.
Look, Sakamoto.
And then all of a sudden, they were on a subway, and now they're suddenly sitting in front of his store.
How was it, living an ordinary life?
Exciting. And fun. It's been full of happy moments. I never could have imagined when I was a hitman. But maybe I've lost my edge. Now I'm just terrified of losing everyone. Maybe I should never have tasted regular life. And then Rion goes,
You're a real moron, you know that, right?
and then Sakamoto was put off by that statement. He's all like,
What did you learn from that life? What did you get out of it?
What?
You learned and experienced stuff. I never did. That's your strength now.
How does that help me fight?
Listen, Sakamoto. Uzuki and I tried to lead regular lives at one point, but we failed. We must have been doing it wrong. But we weren't wrong to try. Win the fight and prove it.
And then his eyes get even more detailed. But can I win?
Remember what I told ya? The more people you care about protecting, the stronger you are. For you, much more than me.
And then she's smoking, and then she drops her cigarette and puts it out.
You should get going. I'll take care of your wounds for a while.
I'm sorry, what? I'll take care of your wounds for a while? I beg your pardon? Akao.
Oh, one more thing. Don't worry about the Akao inside of Uzuki. She's just a figment of his imagination. Pitiful jerk can't even fully embrace evil. Do something about him, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, and tell Akira not to worry about revenge. Tell her to have fun wearing cute clothes and eating yummy food.
And then Rion starts, loading a gun. Right. And then he's looking down, and then he opens his eyes and goes, Thanks, Akao.
Later, pal. Take this.
And she proceeds to look like she's about to shoot him. And then the helicopter itself explodes. Bullseye! And then we get Boyle going, Sakamoto! Then we get Atari looking. Then it shows Amane and Toramaru falling away from the helicopter. But Amane's going, Sakamoto! Howie! And then Gozu's looking like, how pathetic. And then it shows Shin standing there, and Shin is going,
Welcome back, Mr. Sakamoto.
And it shows Sakamoto in his fat form, fully healed and ready to go! Sakamoto's back! The dreaded moment that Uzuki and everyone has been fearing is here. We just talked about this last week. We just talked about this last week! The moment they fear what Sakamoto is going to do. The only way they are confident in bringing down Sakamoto is when the dude is in a coma. Because if he is conscious, he's gonna be a problem. And he's not only up, but he saved both his wife and daughter. And he's chilling in his fat form, too. He could be slim, but he's in his fat form.
Welcome back, Mr. Sakamoto! Wait! How come he's fat again? Sweetie! Good morning, Papa!
And then Osaragi is surprised. Osaragi is surprised to see Sakamoto land in between both herself, because Osaragi's fighting Torres. I forgot to mention Torres at the beginning. Osaragi was fighting Torres. Sakamoto landed in between them. Mind you, they were high up in the sky, above skyscrapers. Looking back at it now, they were above several buildings, high in the air. And Sakamoto lands in between them with no adverse effects to his daughter or wife. And Sakamoto's just there. Things are quiet, and Osaragi's just looking at him. Then we get Torres, who suddenly has a bead of sweat starting to come up on his face. Sakamoto, you're awake. As usual, your timing sucks. Sorry, I know you just woke up, but time to go night-night again. And Sakamoto is... This is just like Ichigo rolling up on Aizen during the fake Karakura Town arc. He's not even paying attention. Not even paying attention to him. This is like Luffy walking up on Kaido and Big Mom, ignoring them and checking on Kinemon and the Akazaya 9. He literally ignores Torres to put on a shirt because, you know, he doesn't have one on. He was covered in bandages, but he goes to put on a shirt, and Torres goes to try and hit him with the sandblaster. Time to go night-night again. And he swings on Sakamoto, and I give up. 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 I give up just I give up just trying to understand the world of Sakamoto nowadays. Torres tries to blow up Sakamoto. Sakamoto chomps his mouth around Torres' blaster, blows into it, and destroys his entire sandblaster weapon completely. I told you Sakamoto was gonna be a problem! The very same thing Sakamoto had a problem with when he was fighting Torres the first time, even wound out. I think it was Shin who got hit in the shoulder. Yeah, I think it was Shin. Even got injured by it before. This man comes back out of a coma, bites on this, and before Torres can do anything, literally destroys his entire sandblaster weapon in one go. When I say he destroyed it, his own breath alone literally shredded and dismantled his entire weapon into pieces. Because we see that it's part of a pack that's on Torres' back. Because this is the first time we ever see underneath his coat. We see it just being blown to pieces. It's basically useless now. Torres' main method of attacking people has been utterly destroyed. He's not fixing that. You're not fixing that. It's been shredded. He busted my sandblaster with his breath. And then Shin is just smiling because he knows what's about to go down. And then Sakamoto speaks his first words after coming out of his coma. I slept a bunch, so I'm feeling good. Get ready, all of you. That's the end of the chapter! This man says, hey, thanks for letting me get some sleep. I'm feeling really good. Get ready, all of you. He said, like, I got my rest in. Now it's time for me to do some work. I heard that y'all were all doing some work. Oh, boy. Let's see. I'm loving this whole thing. Yo, Ducky, it's good to see you. Let's see. We're back. I'm loving this whole thing. Is that a translation error? Not that I'm aware. I didn't see anything weird. I didn't see anything weird in the pages themselves. I'm glad it's not Shin or Nagumo getting Sakamoto weight. It's Rion doing it. I'm glad too. I'm glad that if it's not, insert the rest of the information. Oh yeah, I guess it wasn't a typo. She really did. Wow. Okay. Oh, Sakamoto's definitely back and stronger now. Hey, we kind of talked about this too, that as soon as Sakamoto gets up, he needs to have that rematch with Torres. Now we can see how Torres fares without his little toy. Look, I already know how this is going to go. We're not going on break after this chapter either. But the problem is, everyone, ever since Sakamoto went into a coma, Uzuki went on an overdrive trying to send the order after him to kill him, and all of the JAA agents to kill him. Because Shin brought up the fact that they fear what he will do once he wakes up. Sakamoto is going to be that everlasting thorn in Uzuki and the JAA side if they don't kill him. And every attempt that they tried to do this, they have failed. And now, akin to like Luffy awakening the Nika fruit from One Piece, the world government fearing what would happen if he awakened that fruit, thinking that angering Kaido and robbing him of the fight that he always wanted was far better than this fruit awakening and causing problems for the world government in the future. Sakamoto waking up was the worst possible scenario for Uzuki and everyone affiliated with him. And now that Sakamoto has had this moment of recovery, because apparently Rion in his mind said that she was going to take care of his wounds for now, but it was time for Sakamoto to wake up, because he was wondering, like, do I really deserve this sort of life? Like, I'm terrified of losing everyone. Maybe I shouldn't have become a hitman. Maybe I shouldn't have become a family man and leave this hitman life to avoid having this feeling altogether. And she was all like, are you an idiot? It's because you're protecting people that you're so strong. So now that you have even more people, there's even more reason for you to be the strongest. And then he wakes up, saving both his wife and daughter from an exploding helicopter and dealing with the person that gave him the most trouble before this whole thing went down first. He landed between Osaragi and Torres and basically handicapped Torres, because Torres doesn't have a weapon to use anymore. His sandblaster's just been destroyed. Do you realize how much power you need to have to blow into a weapon that is meant to blow out air with enough force to slice apart metal? You need to have more power than that to not only force that air back, but also literally blow up the mechanism that powers it. And then he's all like, yeah, I had me some good sleep. I slept a bunch, so I'm feeling good. Get ready, all of you. And of course, since he's in the thing is, that makes this so significant, is the fact that he's not in his slim state to give him that extra strength boost. Oh, she didn't say for now, she said for a while. So in other words, until everything is resolved, apparently Rion is making it so that Sakamoto's wounds are not opening up as he deals with everything. That's what I mean. That's what I see. Brings up a lot of other questions. What does she mean for now? Will those wounds come back? Was that like the afterlife, a purgatory of sorts, and that being in the real Rion? Well, it had to have been. I mean, we've seen some crazy things in this series, but let me just finish what I was about to say about Sakamoto, and then we'll talk about that. The fact that this man has been in a coma for so long, then he wakes up. He saves his wife and daughter after, falling from the sky inside of a helicopter. Amane and Toramaru, more than likely they're going to be fine because, they're assassins too, but not on the level of Sakamoto and everybody else, but, they're capable. But Sakamoto is up. He's got a new shirt on. And the fact that he's doing all of this in his fat state, in like his normal fat state that we've seen him in before. Like, we mainly associated him doing a whole bunch of heavy-duty fighting, like serious fighting, like when he was fighting Kashi, when he was fighting Boiled, when he was fighting basically leading after the events of the prison. He's been in his slim state the entire time. and we just thought it was like, oh, he's just in this state entirely. But no, he's in his fat state, which is apparently supposed to, even though he's strong in that one, it didn't, and I say use that phrase as a past tense. It didn't offer him, that slim maneuverability where we was all like, oh, he's getting serious now he's slimmed up. But no, it's like, he doesn't need that anymore. He doesn't need to go into the slim state to be at 110%, to go beyond plus ultra. No, it was just like Granny Mia said to him while he was out there trying to grow stronger and fight Torres during Torres's like introduction chapters and everything. It's like Granny Mia was telling him, like, maybe you don't need to rely on that slim form all the time. Maybe this is the state where you're at your strongest. I'm paraphrasing because she said something different. But Sakamoto has already dealt with Torres and Torres's gimmick in his regular state. Not the slim state he was fighting Torres in constantly, trying to figure out how can I defeat Torres, how can I beat him. No, he beat him in his fat state, which is supposed to be his less strong state, despite, how strong that actually is. And Sakamoto just dealt with him like it was nothing. And then he says, I've slept a bunch, I'm feeling good, get ready, all of you. This is the nightmare that they all were hoping would never happen, because everyone knows how big of a threat Sakamoto is. Now that old man Takamura is no longer around, the one to fear is the Baba Yaga. Zibabu Yaga. Now it's him. Now it's Sakamoto that everyone's scared of. It's not Oki, it's not Osaragi, it's not the Saionji twins, it ain't none of them. They all fear Sakamoto, and now the man is awake. Now the man is awake. Oh, things are about to get bad. Things are about to get bad! But I'm happy, though. Now, since we're not going on break, we're about to see Sakamoto do some work. If he's not bringing down every member of the Order, aside from Osaragi and Shishiba, if he's not bringing them down, he's dealing with, the present threats to his own family and himself. Not saying that anyone is a threat to him right now, because he just dealt with Torres's sandblaster like it was nothing. So, what else does Torres have other than a sandblaster than just, improved human physique and durability? But Sakamoto looks like, yeah, I'm ready to take you on now. It's no longer a moment of like, oh, Sakamoto's still hurting. Oh, he's nervous. Oh, he's terrified of losing everyone. No, his resolve is back. That drive to protect everyone and to be the best there is, it's at an all-time high now. There's no reason for him to be scared anymore. All it took was one talk no jutsu from the Ghost of Rion, and now he's all like, I got it. And he literally, like Aang, who was preparing to face off against the firebenders at the fire temple when Roku showed up, and Roku was all like, are you ready? There are people waiting for you outside. Are you ready? And then Aang opened his eyes, he was glowing, his arrow was glowing, and all the voices of previous avatars, including himself, just go, I'm ready. That's Sakamoto right now. I'm so happy. I am so happy. I'm sorry if I was in a laughing fit, but Sakamoto is awake! Sakamoto is awake, and it's about to be bad for every single person that crosses his path. Those JAA agents, they got nothing now. They have absolutely nothing now. Any other member of Alkamar, yeah, they got nothing now. Uzuki, you got nothing now. Members of the Order that side with Oki, you got nothing now. Sakamoto is awake, and there is no stopping him. He literally just became Doomsday in this moment. The very thing you used to bring him down will not work on him again. He has come back even stronger than before. He is the doomsday of Sakamoto days. You almost take him out, he comes back 10 times stronger. He's the Saiyan who gets stronger when you brush with death. And now, he's ready to bring everybody down. Also, the can't fully embrace evil line from Rion really makes me wonder what Uzuki's future is, because when Sakamoto beats him, he's not going to kill him, but I just can't see Uzuki living in the end. See, I honestly feel we've had people die that have orchestrated certain events, and it wasn't Sakamoto who brought him down. Like Asaki, he died because Uzuki killed him, because it's because of Asaki that Uzuki is the way he is right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone else kills Uzuki and brings that whole circle of hatred, that circle of insanity to a close, but it's not Sakamoto who does it. So I wouldn't be surprised about that whatsoever. However, I am happy to see that Sakamoto is back and at full. He had the longest sleep anyone could have ever had. Came out of it being in his regular fat state, and it's like, yeah, I'm about to deal with all of you. He literally, there's so many different comparisons of people who come back from the brink of death and then become an issue for everyone. The protagonist comes back from the brink of death and he becomes a literal problem for everyone who tried to bring him down and tried to kill him beforehand. He is literally about to become that problem. Mind you, we still have Gozu on check. We still have Tanabata. Torres is there, but his weapon has been destroyed. Literally just when him going and just blew it up. We still got those individuals there. Oki's out there dealing with Nagumo. And I honestly wonder how long Sakamoto was asleep for. How many days have passed in story time and in real time? I wonder when Sakamoto was under, how much time has passed. I think we may have had a chapter when Sakamoto went completely under. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look this up. Oh, that's awesome. But let me, sorry, I just seen like a nice little comment left behind. Let me see. Taro Sakamoto. Let's see. Was in Kendai. Okay, so it was in chapter 219. He was stabbed by Uzuki in chapter 219, with Uzuki's words saying, "So long, Sakamoto." And Sakamoto saying, like, if you were Rion, there'd be no time for last words. You're an obvious fake. You're obviously a fake. These are the last words that Uzuki heard of Sakamoto before Sakamoto went into a coma. So it's been since chapter 219 all the way up until now. But it really doesn't give like a time frame of how long he's been out and how many days he's been out. Because I'm trying to look that up. But yeah, I don't know how long it's been collectively, the amount of time. According to the wiki, that was in June. So, in real time, since June, Sakamoto has been in a coma. June 30th to be exact. Thank you, Halster. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been since June 30th that Sakamoto's been in a coma. So, July, August, September, October, November. So in real time, he has been in a coma for 5 months. But in in like story time, as far as like time in story time, I don't know how many days have actually passed, if it's actually been that long, because I don't remember dialogue of people saying how long it's actually been. But then again, if he got stabbed by Uzuki in chapter 219, we can kind of go through the chapters, because unlike One Piece, it doesn't take too long to get through this. So he got stabbed by Uzuki at the end of chapter 219. You're an obvious fake. Then in 220, let's see if there's any timelines that spread from there. Once he was stabbed. No, because here Sakamoto is on the ground and Uzuki wants to literally chop his head off. And before he can do that, Kendaka comes in and grabs him. And then they all start driving away. They hit Oki with an entire van. And that's when everyone starts driving away. Gozu tries to electrify all of them. He gets punched in the face by Boiled. The car starts being pulled back, but they're not moving because Kumanomi was trying to hold them back. And then they just take off after them. But it doesn't show the time frame. And it ends with Shin trying to make his heart start. I'm keeping an eye. Oh, wait. Color page at the beginning. It's at the beginning. Yesterday afternoon, in a string of incidents at the Super Aquarium, various tanks and exhibits were demolished by a mysterious armed gang. Okay, so this is a day later. So at least we have a day has passed. According to witnesses, the criminal groups took over the aquarium in a highly coordinated attack, casualties. So, yeah, it's been roughly a day since that happened. Then we get the Order and Nagumo. The Order, the JAA trying to kill Nagumo, Shishiba, and everyone else. And it shows Sakamoto being tended to by Granny Mia. But it still doesn't say how much time has passed. Yeah, it still doesn't say how much time has actually passed. Because it's just cutting to everyone. It cuts to Sakamoto going, wait, what was I just doing? And he's in a subway with Rion. And he's all like, where are we? And that's the last time we saw Sakamoto in this dreamscape until today's chapter where he finally woke up. And this is Nagumo speaking with Oki, them trying to kill each other, them having coffee. So no, to save us on time, I don't think it's been mentioned how much time has passed since Sakamoto has been in his coma. In real time, it's been 5 days. But in universe, I don't know how much time has actually passed. We do know a day has passed, but in terms of like how much time has passed for everything that goes down from like 219 all the way to today's chapter in 240, I don't know. But what I do know is Sakamoto is awake and he's about to run them pockets. He's about to have everybody catching the smoke. And the fact that y'all try to take out his wife and daughter, oh no, y'all about to get hurt. Because he's all like, I'm ready. He's telling everyone to get ready. I'm awake now. Y'all better be on 110% right now because I am rested. So that ought to be fun. Let's just say roughly 24 hours. I think that's the best we're going to get in terms of a time frame. That's about as good as we're going to get it. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's about as good as we're going to get. But the fact that Sakamoto is up, that's going to be a problem for everybody. So I can't wait to read next week's chapter because with Sakamoto back, yeah, things are about to pick up real quick. The hero returns. And I don't think Uzuki is going to be too happy to realize that, hey, I failed to kill Sakamoto. And he's even stronger than when I faced him the first time. Because when Uzuki was fighting Sakamoto, he lost his edge. Because he was still thinking about how close he was to losing his wife and daughter. And that basically stunted him. That basically kept him from fighting at 110%. But now that he has gained new resolve, has gained newfound strength, and he's fighting in earnest, everybody is about to catch them hands. And I can't wait. But this was a good chapter. Let me let you guys go because I've been talking way too long. All I can say to all of you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Even check out my Patreon and Throne wishlist because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples! Both One Piece and Sakamoto Days chapters this week have been so good. Bruh, you telling the truth!